Today in Black People Not Winning news, I'm sure you guys have probably heard by now the story of Jordan Davis and Michael Dunn. Another case out of Florida. No surprise, because everybody there seems to think everybody there is seemingly crazy. Yeah, that was a blooper. It doesn't matter. This is unedited. Basically, Michael Dunn was sitting in his car at a gas station, and Jordan Davis and his friends were playing loud music in his car, and Michael Dunn took it upon himself to take action into his own hands and tell the young gentleman to stop playing this loud music. And Jordan was like, okay, fine, we'll turn it down. And they did, and then they turned the music back up. Michael Dunn decided, alright, well, this is a perfect time to take up my gun and shoot this young gentleman and stop him from playing music ever again. Which, in fact, he did. Extra note, Michael Dunn is a white gentleman and Jordan Davis is a black young man. Sound familiar? Yeah, because it's similar to the George Zimmerman case, where a young youth is killed innocently and unjustifiably for no reason. Long story short, Michael Dunn has been found guilty of second-degree murder, but the jury was hung on the first-degree charge. I'm happy that this guy is getting some type of jail time, but the fact that the jury couldn't decide that this Michael guy killed this young man, like took a gun and shot into this kid's car after the Michael guy suspected that the young man had a gun because he looked like a gun-toting individual, quote-unquote. What type of bullshit is that? Like, the fact that this guy could just blatantly profile this kid out of nowhere just because he was listening to loud rap music and he must have been handling a gun means that I'm going to shoot him dead? How could any jury be hung up on that decision of first-degree murder? The guy pulls out a gun and shoots at a kid out of nowhere. But of course, in Florida, self-defense means stand your ground, which means I could get away with anything, which is unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, so Nicki Minaj, the bright young soul she is, she came out with a song recently called Looking Ass Niggas. And the premise of the song, after listening to it, I'll explain it a bit, though may have some truths to it. The fact that she used Malcolm X's image to promote the song was very offensive, so to speak. Safe to say, in little words. It's like, I was just thinking to myself today, it's like black people don't respect their history. They don't respect their past because they don't understand it. And even if they claim to understand it, they don't show it. It's just, it's really unfortunate. I don't want to say it's disgusting because, you know, if you're ignorant about something, then, you know, that's not necessarily your fault. I mean, yeah, you could educate yourself, but at the end of the day, if you don't know, you don't know. But in this situation, it's not like no one does not know who Malcolm X is, and Nicki Minaj took this image and she promoted this song, which is completely against, you know, what the song stands for. But at the end of the day, she apologized, which doesn't mean shit these days, so who cares? End of the day, back to the song. So I listened to the song, and if you take away all the N-words and if you take away all the ignorance, basically what she's trying to say is that males, gentlemen, tend to fabricate their lifestyles, and they expect so much of themselves when they are really a certain way. And though I agree with the premise of the song, the delivery of it was obviously not very PC. Cassidy, another rapper, decided he's going to come out with his own version of the song called Looking Ass Bitches. And he basically took the same concept of talking about how how ladies, women, behave in a not very favorable lifestyle as well, and how us guys are calling them out on it. Now, taking these two versions of the same song and breaking it down, it just basically shows that men are imperfect and women are imperfect. But, once again, the delivery just comes out very ignorant. And reflecting back on Black history, this is just a matter of us pitting ourselves against each other. And I'm sure this song or the song is supposed to be more universal than it is. But at the end of the day, it's basically saying that black women and black men can't get along because of these differences that create a rift in our relationships. And I'm basically just trying to understand, why is it after so long we're still having these rifts in the common relationship between a black man and a black woman, or just a man and a woman in general. It's just unfortunate. That's all I can say. I'm so upset. All I can say is that it's unfortunate. As I said, granted, there are truths within each song. Don't get me wrong. There are men and women, black men and women specifics in particular, that do behave in these types of fashions, but it just creates another stereotype that, you know, all men are fake and they stunt and they, you know, try to live a lavish lifestyle when they're really not, and all women are, you know, manipulizers and gold diggers, and they all just want something at the end of the day. And that's not necessarily true. But thank you, Nicki Minaj and Cassidy, for just amplifying these stereotypes and these things that we're all just trying to debunk. You gotta love Black History Month. Yep, we're really doing ourselves a service. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a comment on all the things that I talked about, the Jordan Davis case, and Nicki Minaj's song, and her use of Malcolm X, and her use of the N-word multiple times, and her interpretation of the song, and how do you guys interpret the song? And if you guys listen to the Cassidy reaction, how do you guys feel about that as well? Once again, thank you guys for watching. This is another episode of Unedited. I'm Vixen, and remember, live your lives uncut. I'll see you guys next time. Fade out.